Foundational economy refers to businesses and sectors which deliver everyday goods and services that people across Wales depend on. It includes a diverse range of sectors such as utilities, health and social care, education, housing and food and drink. Much of the foundational economy has a history of being provided by the state because of its importance to help the Welsh economy and support our population. Delivering these services through the state recognises that economic systems that support the well-being of people must be delivered in a way so that they can be accessed by everyone. In recent decades, privatisation has changed how everyday services are provided as a public good. Multinationals based outside of Wales have become increasingly involved in the provision of services. While an appropriate mix of investment is important, the growth in the role of large multinationals means that decision-making within the foundational economy services has become uprooted from Welsh communities. This has led to an economy dominated by multinationals and micro-businesses, with Welsh micro-businesses struggling to grow in size and output into strong and resilient SMEs. Research conducted by the Federation of Small Businesses suggests that large multinationals account for nearly 40% of all private sector employment in Wales, while medium-sized enterprises made up for a slim 12% and small businesses around 15%. Meanwhile, micro-businesses provides a near 35% of employment. Wealth generated by indigenous businesses tends to circulate wealth within Welsh communities. Conversely, a significant amount of the profits being made by these large businesses operating in the foundational economy, profits which are generated by sales to Welsh consumers and underpinned by the hard work of Welsh employees, leaves the country. It also means that employment could be more precarious. Estimates show that up to 40% of private sector employment in Wales could be lost if more attractive investment offers become available elsewhere in the world. This risk is even greater following COVID-19 and Brexit, as evidenced by the closure of the Ford plant in Bridgend in 2020. Another significant impact is the decision-making around how to invest in businesses, and the research and development needed in Wales is made far from our shores. We refer to these kinds of impacts as wealth extraction because they literally extract wealth away from communities in Wales and into the pockets of multinational businesses. This kind of wealth extraction has resulted in an economy where business activity often does not always benefit the communities that create value and is a major factor in trends like declining average income and increasing rates of poverty. Meanwhile, at the other end of the spectrum, the extractors are thriving. The number of billionaires in the UK has doubled in the last decade. If you think about what the opposite of wealth extraction would be, you come across the idea of businesses that, instead of extracting wealth, allow it to circulate within the Welsh economy so that it sticks around longer, benefiting Welsh people. These types of businesses, which we call generative businesses, include SMEs, micro-businesses, and types of organisations like social enterprises, worker cooperatives, and trading charities. They are more likely to circulate their wealth among the local population by keeping their profits and investments local, to pay people good wages and give them good terms and conditions. And they are less likely to leave a locality because they are rooted to their communities. Coming back to the foundational economy, there's an opportunity for these generative businesses, including SMEs, to disrupt the hold that more extractive businesses on the foundational economy. If a council in Wales requires a new school to be built, they will appoint a large Tier 1 contractor to deliver that project, and the contractor will be asked to build the school using as many local subcontractors and materials as possible. They usually do this by searching for businesses as close to the build as possible. For the ones they can't find nearby, the search becomes wider. The objective is to keep the spend as local as possible, and most certainly within Wales, in order to maximise the local social value the project creates. For example, the roofing contract may go to a local roofer who employs 10 people to complete the project, and those local people are given decent wages and good terms and conditions. Then, each of those 10 people will spend the disposable income they get from the job on local goods and services. For example, local restaurants, in shops, or at the hairdressers. The people being employed in the restaurant the roof worker spends his money in will also spend their wages locally in the same way, and so it goes on, down the chain, adding layers and layers of local spend to boost the local economy, safeguard and create good jobs and well-being, all within a short distance from the school build, effectively buying closer to home. The Wellbeing of Future Generations Act was created in part by the government to enable workers, communities and those generative businesses to take back control of their local economy. To do this, the Act requires all public bodies to put Welsh people's wellbeing and prospects at the forefront of their work by contributing to wellbeing goals. These goals include ensuring that public bodies, like local councils, are supporting fair employment in their own organisations and beyond, that they conduct and encourage actions that support the natural environment, and that they support people's physical and mental wellbeing, and that they take active steps to tackle inequalities. One of the ways that these public bodies can deliver on that requirement is through supporting those generative forms when they're procuring and commissioning services, and through giving business support to locally rooted businesses and community organisations. They can also do it by making sure that they are good employers and through how they use the land and assets they own. The drive to disrupt wealth extraction within the foundational economy means that the government and other public sector institutions want to encourage the growth of more generative businesses, including SMEs and community businesses. In particular, they're keen to identify more opportunities for them to become part of supply chains for foundational goods and services that they procure or commission for. This means that as small businesses, you have an opportunity to gain some of those contracts. This can also enable ambitious small businesses to scale up their operations and look to win bigger aggregated demand, helping increase the cadre of able, rooted medium-sized businesses across Wales. When a public body appoints a Tier 1 supplier to deliver a project on their behalf, they usually approach Business Wales to support them. Business Wales identify the requirements for the project and they match local businesses against these packages of work. They break down the packages into SME-friendly sizes and identify any barriers and what support may be required for a local business to get that work. For example, an SME may be required to have a carbon reduction plan in place and need support in delivering one, or they may not know how to find and bid for the contract. Often, Business Wales will also arrange a Meet the Buyer event where SMEs have an opportunity of a one-to-one, face-to-face meeting with the buyer so that they can both understand their needs better. As well as the role that SMEs and community businesses have in creating a foundational economy for Wales, which generates locally retained wealth, public bodies also have an interest in involving you because you are really well placed to help them understand the needs and business landscape in your place, as well as supporting delivery of local wellbeing plans. You're closer to the ground than they are, you know what your customers and employees need, how the other businesses in your place are faring, and what services your community needs. This kind of on-the-ground intelligence is crucial for public services to enable them to tailor future services to local need, like refining business support and other systems so that they work better for local generative businesses, workers and communities.